Welcome to Bread Rev. This is an example of artisan baking in one of our wood-fired rocket ovens on our stoop in Cork Bay. There's the oven. There's myself and Pete busy shaping up some of the doughs. Oven's very easy to light. Just use a few small twigs and a bit of wood, and then you just add bigger pieces of wood. We use waste wood or offcuts, so our wood doesn't cost us anything. That's the rocket. That's the ashtray where it catches the ash. So the air flows up onto the coals and over the wood, and then up into a buffer plate at the bottom of the oven. And then the air flows around the baking chamber, up the sides and back, over the top. And so none of the smoke actually enters the oven. And then it flows out the exhaust. And the suction of the hot air going out of the exhaust helps to run the rocket. These are just some of the doughs we happen to be baking. That's a whole wheat dough, seed loaf, soft brioche dough, and ciabatta. All our doughs are left in the fridge overnight with a long bulk fermentation. So we then take them out, cut them up, and shape them. You can see I'm shaping a boule there that'll go in a basket. That'll be left to rise and then be baked off. So here's a basic example of a seed loaf where you just shape it up. It's quite a wet dough, but it's got lots of bran and oats in it. It's a very healthy but soft whole wheat dough. One just leaves that to rise quite naturally or in a prover, and then off you go. And here's the ciabatta dough, which involves important techniques that aerate the dough and create the right amount of elasticity. It's got a very high water content, a little bit more difficult to work with. So you just have to use quite a lot of flour, get it into the right shape, and then you just cut it up into strips or pieces of dough. Like a ciabatta means slipper, so you can see it's just like slippers, old slippers. You pop that in the oven at quite a high temperature with a bit of steam. Here we're busy making a focaccia using our standard white dough. And cheese and tomato, basil, rosemary, salt, bit of oil on the top. In it goes, and about 15 minutes later, you've got a perfectly good snack. There's the whole grain doughs and the seed loaves and a brioche loaf on the side. And here are some of the ciabattas coming out. So you can see that the oven is perfectly capable of baking really good bread.